Hi, Simu. Welcome to Breaking the Fast.
Woohoo!
And today we're joined by Dr. Anesu Musho. Am I pronouncing it right? Mushoshi.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's called Mushovi, so I'm always confusing your surnames for some reasons. I'm sorry. And I'm used to calling you Dr. Anesu.
Yes, it's Dr. Anesu.
Yes.
That's what it is, right?
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So I've got a cool intro, which I thought was over the top, but everybody thinks it's fine, and I'm going to read it.
Go for it.
So today on Breaking the Fast, we're joined by a man who proves that health isn't just about what we eat. It's also about what we ignore. Our guest is Dr. Anesu Musvosvi, a dentist who believes oral health is not separate from overall wellness, confidence, faith, and even how we show up in the world. We're breaking myths, asking uncomfortable questions, and having an honest conversation about teeth, habits, food, culture, and why oral health deserves a seat at the table, especially in our communities.
Yeah.
This is not a lecture, it's a conversation.
Yes.
And Dr. Anesu, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Breaking the fast.
First of all,
Yeah.
just to break all, let's just be clear. Do as I say.
Not as
Not
you
as
As I
do.
do.
Because if you follow my, you know my love for
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah.
But I'll explain in better
In
detail.
better detail,
what
yes.
you should do.
Okay, so to start for breaking our fast, we have some wonderful custody yogurt parfaits.
All looks so really good.
That's a pudding with butternut
Really?
at the
I
bottom.
know.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you got some granola in between, and then yogurt with chia seeds. Enjoy, guys. And then also this nice biscuit.
So,
Oh, it's
are we supposed to
fantastic.
start?
So you can start however you
However
want.
you
Feel
want.
free to break your fast how you feel you want to start eating. You start with the savory. The savory is a waffle, a butternut, and sweet potato
That is so
waffle
interesting. Really, really interesting.
with cheese and quinoa. And then that's just chicken roll-ups.
Oh, it
Charlene, what
looks
is
and smells
this?
So good.
That is called a kiwi melon.
Right.
It's just like cucumber. It tastes like cucumber,
Okay.
but it just looks so cute. I
Looks
couldn't
really
help
cute.
myself.
It is cute.
It's tasteless
Well done.
like cucumber.
Our in-house chef. On Breaking the Fast, we also have a chef.
I know,
Charlene.
right?
Go, Charlene.
Thank
So,
you.
I got to confess, so I went to school in the Philippines for 6 years, and they don't eat with a fork and a knife.
What do they
So
eat with?
They eat it with a fork and a spoon. So it completely messed me up, and I'm not able to eat with a fork and knife.
But that's actually cool.
And I've always thought it makes more sense, like with
Yeah,
rice and
when you're
stuff.
scooping stuff.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
struggle to eat with the fork and knife. So
Do you want me to give you another
I'm
spoon?
not. No. Just so that you guys know that I'm not a savage.
Okay.
No,
when I'm
you're
eating.
fine.
No worries.
You're fine.
Then it's
So, Dr. Anesu, tell us, who are you aside being the dentist behind the chair?
that's always hard for someone to say.
Yeah.
I'm a dad,
Mm.
a husband, and I mean, dentistry is a huge part of my life of what I do. So, you know, and unfortunately, I'm not someone who has. I don't have any habits. No, not any hobbies.
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 Hobbies. My hobby is literally my work. So if
Wow.
I'm not at work, I'm just at home
I
Okay.
hear
or
you.
something like that. But
That's me.
100%. Yeah, like work is fun for me.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy it. So yeah.
And your recent dad, well, not really recent, because you said your son is 11 months, right?
11 months, yeah.
How has that been
Oh,
so
sweet
far?
man, I love that age.
You do? I'll come and drop him here for you.
We in exchange, I can give you my toddler who's all over the
I was
place.
telling him.
It's a
like
I mean-
every stage.
And
is
he's a
interesting.
serious chatterbox.
They say
So we
that
can swap.
they say I haven't even reached the terrible twos yet.
Yeah, the terrible twos,
But
those are
yeah,
coming.
he's a lot. But I mean, it's so rewarding, so nice, it's so cute
Yeah.
as well. So yeah,
Oh,
that is-
sweet man.
I miss my sleep, but you know,
Yeah,
It is
let
what
me
it is.
just warn you, until he's maybe about 3, then you can start considering your sleep as a
I'm
thing.
going, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So I have a lot to look forward to.
yeah.
And okay, so tell us, since dentistry is a huge part of who you are, why dentistry? And confirm, you have to first do medical school, right? And then specialize, no?
So it depends what system you go to.
Okay.
So I know here in Zimbabwe, you go into medical school.
Yes.
I believe it's the first 3 years you're all
Yes,
together,
yes,
and then you
yes,
separate
and
for
then
the
you
last
separate.
2 and go.
Yeah.
Where I was, so I never wanted to be a dentist initially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
actually an amazing story. So when I went to university, I actually went and started studying broadcasting, and like,
Like, that is just like worlds apart.
yeah. And then when I actually started doing it, I absolutely hated it.
Okay.
Oh.
And so it was one of those things where I always wanted to be a doctor in the back of my head, but then I was
Okay.
like, I don't think I'm smart
commitment.
enough to be a doctor, so maybe a dentist. And then I shadowed a guy, and he happened to be doing smiles that day, like, doing nice smiles for that week.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to do that for the rest of my life. So I switched, and the university that I went to, now you do 2 years of pre-dental and then
Okay.
4 years of pure dental.
Okay.
So yeah, so it just depends what system you're in.
All right.
Some are like Zim 3 years,
Yes,
then 2
and then
years.
2 years,
Ours
yes.
are basically 6 years.
Which university you go
Basically
to?
That was
6
in the
years.
Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
How was that? That's so.
The
It
culture
was,
must have been amazing, though.
Yeah, it was some of the best 6 years I've ever had.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
And
it
the
was a lot of
language?
fun. It was an international school, so they spoke English, but it was really nice, really cheap. So you could go on the best beaches in the world for
Wow.
the cheapest prices and
Can you
everything.
imagine?
So
Just
dental
waking
school
up
was,
to.
was really fun.
Yeah.
Is that where you met your wife? Did you meet your wife?
No.
Where did you meet your
I
wife?
met my wife in Vic Falls.
Oh.
Back at
Met
home.
my wife in Vic Falls.
Yeah.
I was covering for a doctor there.
Okay.
And we went to. So I was covering for a doctor, and I spent about 6 weeks in Vic Falls.
Yeah.
And that's where we met.
Okay.
Then it was long distance for a
All right,
while
okay.
until.
Did you know she was the one when you met her?
I think everyone knows. Is there a thing?
Or
When I
did
met
you know
my
I'm going to
husband, I
marry
didn't
this
know he
chick?
was the
Like,
one.
okay, or maybe at what point?
After like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. When I first met her, it was just like, oh, she's gorgeous.
She's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, when I really got to know her, then I
Yeah.
was like, nah, this is someone you don't want to lose.
That's so nice.
That's a nice story.
I know.
Question I'm always curious to ask doctors, especially the specialized doctors. When you first meet someone, do you look first at the teeth?
I think everyone looks at people's teeth, no? Or is it just me?
No.
No, I feel like that's what
That is
everyone
not
looks
a
at.
normal thing to do.
I feel like everyone notices like your teeth. No?
Oh.
What do you think people look at like the first thing when they're looking at you? Like just anyone. What do you look at?
I look at the hair and then the shoes
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
just your general demeanor. Like, are you friendly or whatever? And then the little,
Then when
look
Yeah.
when I get to sit and then I'm like
I'm talking, I'm
noticing
like, oh,
everything, your
your
eyes,
teeth
your
are
ears.
kinda
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
But it's not the first thing
Never.
I see.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if it's because I'm a dentist, but
Exactly. It's because you're a dentist. I've noticed with most specialists, whatever it is that they specialize in,
that's what
that's
they-
the first thing they pick on someone.
So the moment I look at someone, I already like say, okay, they need this
Yeah.
or that, this,
Oh,
that.
do you do that?
Yeah, I diagnose everyone in my
Okay.
head. Like it's a gift from a curse.
Wow.
But literally, the first thing when I see you, it'll be like, or like, oh, they're great teeth.
Yeah.
Or it's like,
Nice.
okay, it's just like automatic, just flashes in my
Yeah.
head.
I think
like
that's
a
also what I do
diagnosis.
with food. When I see food,
You
I
see?
start
Yes.
seeing, how that thing
Yeah.
can be
See?
put
Yeah.
together and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Okay.
what's
And-
the misconception when it comes to like oral health? What's the one thing that you feel like people don't really understand, or yeah?
I think there's a lot, but I have always felt like the teeth are like the window to your face. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you've got bad teeth, I feel like in general, it just has a whole effect on your face. It's different like from if you have like a big nose or whatever it is. And you know, like you guys said, like you don't notice. It's not the first thing that
Yeah.
people notice, but I think subconsciously, it's actually what a lot of people pick up. Because when you, like, especially I do a lot of cosmetics.
Yeah.
And when you change someone's smile, a
The face
lot
changes.
about them like actually just changes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of, like, I'll say misconceptions that are a bit on the deeper side,
Yeah.
like about like, have you heard about the whole fluoride thing? Like, people say don't use
Yes, I was
fluoride
going to ask
toothpaste.
you
Yeah.
about that
Oh,
as
really?
well. Yes.
Yeah, so there's like,
Tell us about that. Do we need fluoride? Is it a real thing? Is it?
so
Where does it come from?
it's I mean, it's the main ingredient in, like, toothpaste that helps to remineralize your teeth, or which
Yeah.
helps to keep your teeth strong, prevents you from cavities and all that, is fluoride.
Okay.
Or there's another new thing that they're using nowadays called hydroxyapatite, but that's what strengthens your teeth. So have you seen a lot of people, like, in Gokwe, who sometimes have, like, brownish looking teeth, or
Yes.
something like that?
Yes.
That's over fluoride. So they have too much fluoride.
Oh.
But the gift in that is that those teeth are so strong. Those
Oh.
teeth won't. It's very difficult for those teeth to get cavities.
Okay.
But it does mess
That's
up
a
a little
very
bit on the
interesting-
appearance.
Yes.
But fluoride definitely strengthens your teeth. So I'm still at the point of, I'm very pro fluoride.
Okay.
I don't think it's best for you to, be going for those natural options that don't have that.
Okay.
I personally don't use those.
Okay.
I'm sticking with the
But
fluoride.
Udara, what were people doing without the fluoride?
That's true, but then you see it's also in your water. Actually, in a lot of countries, they have have to have a certain amount of fluoride
In the water.
in the water
Okay.
in order to help the teeth
Okay.
and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah. But there's
yeah.
also some really interesting, like you said, in the village, they have some interesting things that actually really work, huh? These
Like
sticks
the stick.
Yes.
and all that stuff. And I remember one lady came to me. She was in pain, but she
Okay.
took some bark, boiled it, and whatever, and used it.
Yes.
She said, "Okay, I'm fine now, but this was the problem."
Yes.
And it worked.
Yeah.
So I
I
mean,
have a
those
friend
things
who
are
said
all,
she bit on clove. You know,
That
like
works.
that
yes,
spice.
Cloves
oil.
work.
That's actually very popular.
That's
Yes.
true.
That's
Yes.
true, and it
Cloves
actually
work.
works.
Yeah. Cloves work. I
I was
always
like,
have
no
cloves.
way, it's in your head.
No, it's not. And it's
It
got, like,
works.
it's interesting. I don't know what's in there. I'm forgetting the word. I know what it is, but it numbs. Like, even your tongue, part of your tongue just goes a bit numb for a little bit, and then no pain.
Really?
And they work for a lot of things. Cloves are amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize to you, my friend.
Yeah.
This food is really good, by the way.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you so
Really,
much.
really
And I saw a
I'm so
clip of
glad.
yours recently. And I was telling my family, I was like, guys, the dentist said do not rinse your mouth. Please tell us about that. When we brush our teeth.
Yeah. So
How do we not rinse? What is the purpose of us not rinsing?
I mean, the idea
Like after
is,
we brush or after
Yeah,
we
like
Yes,
after
after you brush.
Okay.
the idea is to keep it in for as long as possible
Okay.
to allow it to work.
Okay.
Right. So
Oh.
not necessarily,
Don't rinse.
not necessarily don't rinse,
Okay.
but the idea of
Yeah.
flora is the longer you keep it in, the more it works. Kind of
your
like
teeth.
So my son is alright. Eh? He does not want to spit out.
I
He
think,
will
yeah.
enjoy, and then I'm like, "Come on, let's spit it out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
rinse." He's like, "No,
more
I'm
power
fine.
to
I'm
him.
good.
He's
Bye."
good.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's not a.
So now I've just let him be. You know, that's his routine for brushing
Yeah.
his teeth. I'm like, as long as they're
Because
brushed.
you did mention that
Cool.
the toothbrush is removing the dirt.
Yes, the
The
toothbrush
scraping is so the tools you're using are removing, and then the toothpaste is remineralizing.
Yeah.
I listened to that clip very well, and I was telling my family, I was like,
Really?
guys, okay,
You
let's.
did?
We did. I was like, because I'm also I'm on the natural side. So when you started dabbering in there, I was like, okay, Dr. Anesu, let's hear this, because I think a lot of people are finding things in our food that is not good for us.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially like, our age and our
Yeah.
so much processed
Yeah,
stuff. And
yeah.
everything,
And you're trying to think, okay, what can I do? Okay, what can I do at home? And that include I can put the toothpaste, but what can I add to my routine? On the natural side of things. I know you don't use that, but what can I do if I want to kind of include my natural routines, my clothes, and and all that stuff.
There's a really good one with bicarbonate of soda.
Okay.
Oh,
Right? That actually helps. It actually whitens your teeth naturally
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So
bicarb of soda. It's got this horrible aftertaste,
yeah,
though.
it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Like it's a
So am I
sickening.
rinsing? Am I
Just
brushing the
with
teeth?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you can actually
Just
literally brush
brushing
with it.
with
Oh.
baking bicarbonate of soda.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It actually helps.
And
it's
it
good.
doesn't eat.
Doesn't
No, so now
corrode.
you
the
don't.
Yeah.
body?
Now if you add stuff like some people do, which is really bad, they do like lemon and baking
Yeah,
soda.
lemon is like an acid now.
Now that's way too acidic.
Okay,
Now
okay.
you're just messing up. But normally I found that with bicarb, it just
On
by
its
itself,
own.
it's not really that bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
it's-
wow,
it's-
interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
so-
And
so
interesting
some home
enough,
remedies.
because bicarb works for a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It's good for your tummy.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
all. It's good for your tummy. It's good for your hair,
It's
like
good
to
for
shampoo
my
it.
sink.
It's good for your sink.
It's good for everything.
Oh,
People are
Charlene,
using
you
it
know.
everywhere.
And it's good for your, like, even for dealing with acne. If you just do
Really?
like half a teaspoon and drink in the morning.
Like drinking bicarb.
Yes, because it's also, it's
I
funny.
would have to
it
close my nose.
that word, your
Alkaline.
body. Yes, that's what it does. That's the word. Listen, churungu chakaya ningarara. Leave me alone. Yeah. But what's the craziest case you've ever dealt with?
Oh, I'd love to know that one.
Where you're thinking, oh my gosh, what did you do to your teeth?
There's actually one, which was actually ended up. I'm happy it happened very early in my career.
Okay.
Oh,
Because it completely changed my mind.
Okay.
okay.
This guy came in and he just did not. This guy never touched a toothbrush.
No.
You know,
No.
like he just did not touch a toothbrush.
No.
No ways.
And I was actually like, look, I mean, when you look in the mouth, he had like sores, he had
Oh.
gums, he had like everything. And I was like, dude, you can't be honestly like, I mean, I can only do so much.
Yes.
But, your oral habits are really bad. You really have to brush and do that.
What, was he homeless or something?
No, this was
Something
a
was
very
he like
okay
a
guy.
normal
He was a
working
very-
human being?
Yeah. And then, I feel like I was maybe a bit judgmental when I was
Okay.
talking to him because
Alright,
I was
okay.
really telling him like, look, man, that the teeth will lose
Yes.
some. This
Yes,
is happening, and I was like, you're just not brushing, and it's not a difficult problem.
Yeah.
And he was a bit reserved, and then I think he didn't want to say it, and then eventually he told me, he's like, look, I've got HIV, and it's really hard for me every time I brush it, like
The
what's
bloody-
going on,
okay.
like it hurts
Okay.
and everything like that, and I was just like, it was like oh
Yeah,
shucks.
Yeah.
even me, I'm feeling, listen,
Yeah, because already
I
you
already
judged
judged
that
him.
person.
No,
Oh.
so it was like, no, it's not. So he was like, no, it's not that I don't want to,
Want
but
to.
it just
It's just
really
so
I-
painful.
painful. Like,
Oh,
So
so
is there something you could do?
to be honest, I don't remember what happened.
Okay.
I think at this stage I was still working under someone, so I
Alright,
think he ended
okay,
up going into
okay.
someone else's care.
Okay.
But I have never judged anyone from there on.
Okay.
Going forth, because you have no idea, like.
What's going
Like
on?
What's
what
going
they're
on in
actually-
someone's life?
What they're
Yeah.
doing. So my job is just if I see it, okay, there's a problem, just
Let's
fix
fix it.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of thing. So
Alright,
that
that's so
Oh,
I'm
good.
happy it
that
happened
is
early
so
on.
good.
That's so
That is
good.
so good.
Yeah,
So
yes.
humbling, though.
I know.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hey.
Before you know someone's story, I'm telling you, it's easy to judge.
I think my stomach would have just dropped.
And then when you hear the thing, it's like,
standing
oh,
there.
Yeah, it's like So yeah, he was HIV, he was diabetic, he had a whole bunch of things. going on.
No.
So it was like, oof, sorry.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, you are a faith person as well.
Yeah.
How does that work with your work? Where do you
Strike the balance.
yeah, and where do
Or
you
is
put
it
it
just
in?
part of you? You don't
know,
have to think about
When
it.
you go to work, are you like, okay, I'm a dentist, she faith, tambo sapasite. Or do you carry that with you everywhere? And what impact has that made for you in your work, in your marriage? with your son, how has it just helped you navigate all that?
No, one of the things which is, I guess, like you're saying, faith-based is
Yeah.
I always try, and every year we always try and do something that gives back.
Okay.
And I normally kind of, just because of the church that I go to, I normally
Okay.
try and make it fit in with
the
something
church.
that the church is
Okay.
doing.
Okay.
And then, like, okay, if they're going for like some kind of outreach thing to say, okay,
Yes.
we're going here to preach for like a week, I'll say,
Yeah.
okay, I'll come in and I'll do the dental thing
Oh, nice.
for free, and hopefully that draws people
Wow,
in
that's
to help them listen to the word,
amazing.
and then it kind of goes hand in hand
Okay.
with that. So we've done a few of those. We did one in Yanga,
Mm.
which was crazy. We had gone to see only. We thought we would see about just 40 people because it was a
Okay.
very remote place.
Yes.
We ended up seeing over 200
No.
people. We had to like drive to South Bay, buy dental stuff, and
Word
come
travels
back.
fast,
People
eh?
would come. They were like, "I'm traveling." Well, they would say they were coming from like
Which
10
part of,
kilometers, 15.
Nyanga did
walking.
you go to? My husband is from there.
Where was that? I can't
As
remember the
far
name.
as Kagore.
I don't know.
Listen, Charlene, now that's your territory, okay?
Yeah,
You
that's-
just wear
that's
your
like
word.
deep.
I just
forgive
want
them,
to
man.
know,
Listen.
man. So that next time when I go to the village, isn't, and
Yeah.
I'll be like, I know
guys-
this dentist came. Yeah.
So that was really,
Okay.
that was really
That's really nice.
satisfying. And
Yeah.
so we've done a few others which are something like that.
Okay.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, you
Yeah.
do your best. I always say, as a doctor,
Yeah.
you just do your best. God is the one who ends up
Yeah.
healing at the end,
At the end
because
of it all, yeah.
there's no one who
That is amazing. We should actually clip that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the best that you can.
And then
let
God takes care
Yeah.
of the rest.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I
Yeah.
love that. I really
It
do.
really reminds me of one time when my daughter was not well, and the doctor was like, "Ugh." I was like, Doc, you do your best. Let God do the rest.
Yeah.
You just do what needs to be done as a professional. It's okay. I understand, but let God take over
Yeah.
everything, and it'll be all right. You'll be all right.
And in the same sentiments of doing your best and just also enjoying, do you enjoy what you do? Like now you don't even have to think about it. Like it just, oh man, guys,
He's
I can
always
do
having
this with
fun.
my
He
eyes
has seen his
closed.
trips.
I can do this with my eyes closed. Oh, you got, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, no, it's 100% fun. For me, I'm actually having fun at work.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like it's fun. But I would say it only started becoming fun. I've been doing this for about close to 11 years now. It starts becoming fun when your confidence gains,
Okay.
and you also know that, okay, you've done something 100, 200 times over.
Over.
Yeah.
So when you see something, you know the answer. When someone walks in, you know the problem before they even say
Yeah.
what's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's when it becomes fun, because now it's just like I don't want to say a game, because but it's literally fun, because you're just it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Have you
accomplishing.
ever had extra patients like who come in and they really don't have a problem, but they think they have a problem?
Or they have a problem, but they're just
If they have a problem, I assume that I don't know what the problem is, and I refer them to a specialist.
okay.
Yeah, if that's what it is. So if there's I don't assume that there's nothing wrong. I just assume that, okay, it's whatever it is, it's out of my depth,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I'll refer them to someone who I think can handle
Yeah.
their situation. But yeah, I've also had people who will probably say like, oh, I want something done, and I'm just like, look, there's nothing wrong. I'm not gonna do
Okay.
anything there.
That's the extra I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Like,
wow.
yeah, I want straight white teeth.
Yeah. Then it's
Very, very white teeth.
yeah, I get that. Actually, I get that a lot.
Really?
Yeah, and so I'm all about my brand is about natural aesthetics. So I still believe in you can redo your teeth, but they shouldn't look like they were redone. They should just look natural.
Yes.
Right. But there's some people who say, I want white. I want when I smile
And I want them straight.
and straight. People need to bling and say,
Yeah.
I don't want to be responsible for that.
Like
can go to
shining from
someone
afar,
else.
like doing. And you're like, oh my gosh, now you look like a doll, AI, something. I don't know.
But are teeth meant to be like pearly white in the first
No,
place?
that's a good one on misconception
Yeah.
as well. Healthy teeth are not pearly white.
Oh.
There's always a hint of yellow from the layers inside your dentin and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So white teeth are not a sign of healthy teeth, and yellow teeth are not a sign of bad teeth.
Bad teeth.
You know, unfortunately, we do associate the white with beauty.
Yes.
So that's where it comes in. Right? And it's true. The whiter your teeth are, of course, it's better. You don't want to be.
Because now some of us just smile with our mouths closed there because you don't want your
You
teeth.
don't want to show people.
You want to show your teeth,
yellow
you got a bit of yellow
It's
in
not a
your
correlation at all to health.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're seeing someone and you feel like the teeth are a bit more on the yellow side, it does not mean at all.
Okay.
But like smokers, they do get a tint in their
Yeah.
teeth. Can that eventually go?
It can, but if you do it for too long, then it becomes
Then it
kind
becomes a
of
problem, yeah.
intrinsic, and you're not
Yeah.
able to do it. Yeah, but those stains aren't good.
So this is
Nice. That is really
butternut.
nice. That is just delicious. And that little thing on top there is just, yeah.
What is the thing on top?
It's a wafer I bought in what's this place? Cafe de Paris. They're these wafers. They're gorgeous with ice cream. You love ice cream.
And
Gorgeous.
okay, your teeth and health and what you eat.
Very much correlated.
Yeah.
So, having sweet things or whatever is not bad.
Okay.
The frequency, though,
All right.
is kind of like where it's bad. So, if you're having soft drinks throughout the day,
Yeah.
it's actually better to have, and I'm saying not for your health, but I'm saying for your teeth.
Yes.
It's better to have, let's say if you're going to have 1 liter throughout the day, it's better just to have that 1 liter one time. right?
Okay, one time.
Oh,
Now,
not
for your health,
gradually
that's something
through
else,
the.
right?
Okay.
But not gradually, because again, the longer, remember how I was talking about how the longer the it stays in your mouth, the healthier it is. It's the same thing with the bad stuff.
Okay.
The longer it stays in your mouth, the more like acidic, more sugar that's laying around there in your mouth, the worse it is, because now it's just breaking down.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And can our burps affect our teeth? The gas that's coming from our tummy, can that affect the teeth?
Sim, where are you thinking of all of this?
Because you know what? I've heard about it.
Acid reflux.
Yes.
Yes. So with acid reflux, it will eventually, a little bit will come up through and be in your mouth. Some patients I've even had where they say they wake up and it's like they've got
Oh
all
no.
the juices in their mouth.
Oh.
So that's obviously acidic and it's really bad.
Yeah.
So the burp itself, normally if there's nothing, then it's
Okay.
not bad.
All right.
But if it's a sign of reflux,
Okay.
then eventually
Then
it'll
there's
be-
an issue.
yeah, it'll eventually
So
be an issue.
then pregnant women are in trouble.
Yeah, they actually are.
And you know what happens to me? Okay, I've had a miscarriage. And I remember the time I had a miscarriage. Every time I'm pregnant, something happens to my teeth. Like, I don't know if it's a real thing. I promise you, like,
What
I start feeling like there's things moving in them. They become so, and they're a bit shaky, but they're not really whatever. And then so I went in for something, and I was like maybe 3 months, or maybe 2, whatever. And I told the dentist, I was like, listen, I'm pregnant, and just like, this procedure doesn't, it's fine, you'll be fine. But after a while, I lost the baby. And then on my second pregnancy, first I felt it on my first pregnancy, second pregnancy, then I lost the second pregnancy. Third pregnancy, I was like, I'm not going to the dentist. But it's clearly something to do with. So is it true that when you're pregnant, the baby can take calcium from you, from your bones and from your teeth, or what happens to the teeth? Because I experienced that for real.
So I'm not too sure what's going on the
Yeah.
stomach side
Okay.
with the baby, but there's actually something called pregnancy gingivitis, where it's like your teeth just basically go mad when you're pregnant.
Yes, that's it. I promise. It's ridiculous.
So there's a lot happening in your body.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of changes, a lot of hormones, a lot of different things, and typically, so what happens is, I've had people who come in and say, every time I'm pregnant, I lose a tooth. You know, when I give birth, I lose a tooth. That is excessive, which means they probably had a problem. But now when
Prior
you're
to
pregnant,
the
yeah, prior to the
pregnancy.
pregnancy.
Okay.
And then when you're pregnant,
So your body's fighting extra to get rid of
now
other
you're
things.
vomiting, you're everything, that
Yes.
acid,
Okay,
everything
okay.
can go downhill
Okay.
really fast.
Okay.
And that'll
Oh,
lead
shame.
to everything going down
Okay.
fast. So you end up losing something. So it's not that, no, I had to lose my tooth because you were pregnant. There was a problem and the pregnancy made it kind of like worse. Yeah. So
Yeah. Each time I'm pregnant, the first pregnancy, the doctor was like, I'm not touching you. We're not doing anything.
the dentist.
The dentist, sorry.
And that's actually what I do too.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not touching you, I'm not doing anything. We'll just clean, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I cannot inject, I cannot do anything to you, with whatever.
Well, if you had to, you could, but what I normally do is the first trimester is the most important for the baby.
Okay.
So you don't want to do anything there. But by the second or third,
Good.
I would say if you need to do something, you can.
Okay.
But in general, I try and not mess with pregnant women until, I mean, unless the problem is obvious and bad. Like
Yeah.
if they've got an infection
Yeah.
and it just needs to go out, then, you know, I'll
Okay.
obviously contact their
Yeah.
doctor, let them know that what we're doing,
Okay.
and then go. But yeah, pregnancy can wreak havoc, especially if you have problems, but also just in general, your gums will swell, they'll bleed,
Ridiculous, man.
your teeth will
We
feel
are
like they're
heroes.
shifting.
I don't
Not
think
shifting,
I've paid attention to my teeth when I was pregnant. But yeah, me just thinking about going to the dentist, I have to rev myself up.
Anesu, how can people get over
I
that?
have to rev myself up and
I
tell
don't
myself
understand why
it's
people
okay.
are scared of the dentist though.
Because I had, unfortunately, my first experiences, it was horrible. And then the first time I went, I was very young. And the patient before me, all I could hear was, and this kid screaming.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God.
You heard the kid screaming.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Yeah, that can scare you.
I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen in there?
And their tools are very intimidating.
And then I saw the size of the needle. I was like, no,
I can't.
no way. Like, isn't there a way to have like smaller needle? Why? I guess because
Because the teeth are bones. I guess.
But you know what? I feel like we just got a bad reputation from TV.
Yes.
And of
TV.
course, back in the day, they probably didn't have enough medicine, but everyone
yeah,
hates
having
the dentist.
parents yank your tooth out,
Oh, man.
sungirira tambo, and then
And the dentist used to have like almost like
she plunges. So
like something.
It was a little
She
primitive.
pliers.
As well,
Yeah.
Sure. It shouldn't have been like that for you guys.
it
no,
wasn't
but
actually.
I was just traumatized. So ever since, I'm just so paranoid of it going. Even though I've changed and now I'm with you, but still, I have to really
I'm gonna make sure the girls
rev
follow
my
and say, hey, you're 6 months is up.
rev myself in my head that
I
you
had
know
my
you're going to
teeth
be
problems
okay.
Until I was pregnant.
When I'm also very quite sensitive, so now I need all those numbing injections. And before I met you, the previous dentist did like 5 jabs, of which I had warned him that I will feel what you're doing.
Okay.
So you have to put proper numbing
Yeah.
stuff. He put like 2 or 3, and I was like, I can still feel what you're doing. And now he's continuously just giving me those injections. Yo, guys. And you know, those injections are not fun. They're painful.
Yeah,
And the gaps. Some of us have a gap. Does that affect anything to do with dental? It's just
no, you're just born like that. So mostly, you know, it's just kind of like some people like it. Some people are very self-conscious about it.
Yes.
I normally, a lot of people who have gaps, I'm like, if it suits your face and you're happy with
You're
it,
fine. Okay.
it's not a problem.
I think it brings character to you.
Yeah,
It's my dad's gap. It's my dad. It's his
Oh, I do
fault.
have an interesting story.
Yeah.
I once there was a lady who I guess she thought
This
she
one's
was
going to be good.
she thought she was doing a treat for her husband or something,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh,
And she went and she redid her teeth.
Yeah.
And as soon as we were done, she was like, "Oh, I love it."
Yeah.
The next morning, I'm driving to work. The car is at the gate
Yeah.
before I even open up, and I'm like, "Oh, what's wrong?"
happening?
Give me
And
back my
husband
gap.
said,
Go back.
remove. I want your gap back.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were like, I want your gap back. So now I had to cut through the stuff I made and maneuver stuff and all. And yeah, so why please consult your husbands before
That
you,
must
Before you
have
go
been
to
so
do something.
painful, though.
yeah, before you come. And
Oh.
And you know, I think for me the sad thing is she did it for him. Like
But he fell in love with that.
yeah, like a feature on you. If you're going to change it, do it for you.
yes, yes.
Don't
yes,
do it
yes.
for anybody.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that
true.
also.
If you're going to change anything on your body,
Yeah.
don't do
'cause-
it to please somebody else.
Yeah.
Because then you know what, the appreciation might not be what you think.
Exactly.
So aside doing like charity work and stuff like that, is there any other way that you're also empowering like the youngsters out there who say they want to do dentistry or something? How are you also inspiring other young people who also want to follow the same path and are inspired by you?
This has started happening more recently, I think, just
Okay.
because of experience.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
I couldn't do this for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I know
definitely.
nothing.
Yes,
and I
yes.
do. But of late, I've gotten a lot of in high school or even college people who are like,
Okay.
"Hey, I really want to be a dentist. Can I come spend the week with you?"
Mm.
And they literally come, and I have them, suctioning on the patient, so they get to actually see
Oh,
in
wow.
depth
What's happening?
every day of our life. They spend
That's
the whole
nice.
they spend the whole week with
That's
us.
nice.
I'm not old, but I feel really nice because I have even a couple of people who are now doing dentistry who are like, "Oh,
Nice.
you really inspired me."
Oh, I
And now they're in
love
school
that.
and doing it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it makes you feel really, really, really nice. So I never say no to anyone who wants to
Okay.
come and like shadow me.
Yeah.
Because someone also did that for me.
Yeah.
Someone did that for me, and that got me to where I was. So literally, anyone who wants to is thinking of a career in it, or who's already maybe in it and just wants to be like, "Can I see how you do
Yeah.
things?" I'm always happy to kind of share that.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
love
really
that.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
really nice. I'm gonna tag your page and the clinic's page. Oh, you got new projects happening at the clinic.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about that?
The lab.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I'm into cosmetics big time, and we used to use an external lab, which was really good, but I didn't have the control.
Control.
Okay.
So any tweaks or anything, I'd have to go back, then come back a week later,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
back and forth. So because of the volume that we do, we were like, we just need a lab,
Something.
Okay.
like in house.
Yeah.
And that has completely really changed like our
Everything,
game
yeah.
and everything, because everything is exactly how I want it.
Yeah.
The outcomes are exactly how they
How
are.
you want them.
So yeah, not a lot of places have that. And we were talking earlier about the pressure from Instagram.
Yes.
Yes.
I saw a dentist who had that like on
Yeah.
their Instagram. He talks about how he controls the quality because he has this lab
Yes.
and everything. And when I started getting my little frustrations of the going back, I was like, well, then
I guess.
I have to have my own
guess.
I
lab
can do
Yeah.
and doing that. So yeah, so I always
That's the blessing of Instagram.
that's the blessing, the gift and the curse,
Yes.
because now
Yeah.
there's other stuff they have I also
Pressure.
want, which are
Yeah.
out of my reach.
For now.
For now.
Yeah, for now
For now.
at least.
Yeah.
Speak it by faith.
Yeah. For now.
But yeah, so that's really exciting, and yeah, it's a good project for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So I know you're a dentist, but I think your clinic is a business. And how has that changed how you move in life? What things did you take for granted being working with under other clinics and now running your
Your
own
own
clinic
clinic.
and
That
being
is a
the
really good
entrepreneur?
question.
Yeah.
It is a completely different beast
Yeah.
on its own.
Yeah.
When you're a dentist or when you go to dental school, they teach you how to care for people, how to be a really good dentist, how to
yeah.
do really good clinical work. They don't teach you anything about the business
Side of things.
of dentistry. And it's such a hard balance to strike. At work, there's a time that they used to call me, when I started owning my own business,
Yeah.
there's a time when they started calling me the NGO, right? Because someone couldn't afford something, and I'm just like, but okay, I'll
Fix
just
it.
do it.
Okay.
And you just help them, But that has an effect
Yes,
on the
in the
books,
long term.
right? It
Yeah.
has an effect on the business, and now you really have to, you have to, you have to be a business person and a dentist.
A dentist.
So you have to still be, as I said, you're a Christian and everything. So you
Yes.
still need to be charitable
Yes,
and everything.
yes.
But you really have to strike the balance between, doing good and you still have to
Being
run a
Christian.
business.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
lights need to be
Salaries to
on.
pay.
I mean, we run a place that
Yeah.
looks a certain way,
Okay.
so it has to be like that.
Yeah.
So that has been extremely hard. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy that
But you
part.
have a team under you.
I do. I have a team that
Good
runs
team.
I trust them
That
and they're
runs the
really
ship.
good.
Yeah.
They really run the business side, and
Yeah.
I'm able to focus on the
dental
clinic
side. Okay. The
I'm
clinic
still
side, yeah.
heavily involved in the business side, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, of
Definitely.
course.
And I miss the purity of not being a businessman and just being a clinician when I'm
Yeah.
working for someone else, because you don't worry about anything.
Anything.
Your job is solely just working on
Yeah.
the patient, making sure that they have the best outcomes. And yeah, it's not easy, I would say, running
a
running
business.
running a business.
Anything that has other two people you need to be looking after. Yeah.
Right? And now we have a team of 18 people.
Wow.
So
Wow. That's
you
growth.
really have to strike a balance. So I still do my NGO stuff, like I'll still, if there's someone who I
Yes.
really, my heart really like,
Yeah.
Yes.
X out to, and like, you know what, they need this
Okay.
and do
I'll
that.
do it for them. Yeah.
I'll do it. And I also, do that a lot with my like long term, like people who've been with me long term.
Yeah.
I'll never leave them. Like if they have a problem and they're like, oh, okay, but I can't afford it, but there's no way I'll
like,
leave them in pain.
okay.
Like I'll do that.
Yeah.
Like do that for them.
Oh,
I have
that's
had a lot of people
wonderful.
who have cheated me as well, though.
Yes.
Especially newbies.
Oh.
So like people
Come
that come
on,
in-
guys.
I actually
Not
had
do this, people.
actually had a it was like a family. They called, they're like, I have an emergency, I'm coming. So it was a Saturday. So I was like, so I came in, and
On a Saturday.
so I'm Adventist. So I have a rule, or
Yeah.
I had a rule rather, that
You don't work on the Saturday.
well, I don't work on Saturday, but if someone's in
Yeah.
pain, I'll treat them. I don't tell them that I won't charge them.
Okay.
But when I'm done, I'll tell them the charge.
Yes.
When I'm done, I won't charge
Okay.
them, though, because I
Okay.
didn't want people just to be like, oh. whatever.
Yes.
So I think a family caught that, like, oh, on
So he
Saturdays
does.
he doesn't actually charge, like, or whatever. So they came in one Saturday or whatever. They did that, and then they came in again.
Another
Saturday,
Saturday.
did that, and then the third time they came in, and then I was like, so my
But
assistants were
you
actually the one that
guys-
caught me. They were like, hey, these guys, they're onto something. So
Yeah.
now I don't see new people
On a Saturday.
I'll only see my old
See?
patients.
All these
Because
rules
they-
come because
But
somebody...
hatisi kuti zvoni mozoenda ka on a Saturday, guys.
No, no, no,
Even
I-
if you're the oldies, no Saturday, he is praying. Man of God's praying.
So yeah, so
Oh, I
no,
love
so I'll
it.
always see my old patients
Okay.
because I mean I've been with them. So if there is
Yeah.
a problem,
Yes.
I love it. So, what would you tell a young guy who's maybe 5 years into his thing and he's just thinking, where I'm working is just not working for me?
Yeah.
Oh, Anis is doing such a wonderful job. I also want to do this. What advice on the business side would you give someone that you wish you had when you started out?
Some people are comfortable having. There's a big, again, Instagram. Everyone tells you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to do your own
Yes.
thing. You need to do
Yeah,
everything
but
and
not
everything.
everyone is built for it.
I don't think everyone necessarily has to own their own thing.
100%.
If I could do it again, I
Yeah.
feel like I wish I could identify something that I could partner with and we could kind of like do it together,
Okay.
or grow something with someone.
Okay.
Like if I'm in a certain practice, then we
Yeah,
grow,
yeah.
and then eventually I take over after
Yeah.
years. But
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of doing that. But there are some people who also need to own their
Their
own
own
things. They
stuff.
need to
Yeah.
control the space and everything
Yeah.
like that. So need to know thyself. Need to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'll be a better dentist under someone, or do you think you need to have control over everything
Yeah.
you're doing and running your own thing? And it's, if you are going to be under someone, if things are, well, you said if they're frustrated, I mean, you can you can always try and see if there's someone who you can align with. But eventually, if the frustrations keep piling up, maybe you're someone who needs to do your, you know,
Your own
thing.
your own thing. And yeah, you know, there's patience for everyone.
Yes.
You know, so there's space for everyone.
Oh,
And I think,
yeah,
like you were saying, that you know, when you started dentistry, no one taught you the business side of things.
Yeah.
I think also it's something that people need to equip themselves with.
100%.
Like, you're a dentist, you want to break off from somebody, but you need to know.
Yes. So
Can you do a bit of business study? Can you do a bit of this before you even...
before you go in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in hindsight, if I knew that I was going to start something,
Yes.
I probably would have tried to understand a lot about the business as well.
Yeah.
But when I started, I was just jumping in. I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, I want more practice, jumping in, boom. And then it was like, oh,
Hello.
this is what it takes
Hello.
to practice.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So
And
it was-
why Zim? Because you studied somewhere else, and you could have stayed there or gone everywhere else. You know, why did you think, I want to go back home? I want to do it at home.
So I probably...
Hello, the wife.
Oh no, she wasn't there.
Oh, she wasn't there yet.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
and you could have taken her away.
So I probably had a disillusionment on Zim.
Okay.
So I never lived in Zimbabwe until I started working.
Okay.
We would come home every year. So you know when you come somewhere and you're here for a short time,
Yes,
it's
it's amazing.
You love it
Always
and
is.
everything. And so, but you always hear people saying, Zim is tough, Zim is hard, all this, whatever. But to me, I was like, oh man, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I knew it was a hard place to do business and
Business.
work and all of that stuff. And so when I came back, I wanted to be in Zim.
Okay.
Because I loved what I thought Zimbabwe was,
Yes.
and I still do.
Yes.
And I still do. And my idea was, okay, I'm going to give it 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
If it's working, then I'll be good.
I'll stay.
But if it seems like dodgy, then
I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
So even by year 2, I remember I started applying to like Australia
Mm-hmm.
and England, but then I was just to have it in the back, just to be like, okay,
Backup plan.
just in case the 5 years don't go through.
Yeah.
But I mean, 5 years went by and I'm not leaving.
Here you
Like,
are.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
for
love,
staying.
Thank you for staying.
I love
Yes.
Zim.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I call you in this house our celebrity doctor.
Yes.
Our celebrity, yeah.
So what was his name? The one who went on Oprah a lot, Oz or something.
Oh, Dr.
Yeah,
Oz,
Dr.
yeah.
Oz.
Yeah.
Dr. Anesu. Dr. Anesu.
He's our Dr. Oz.
Oh my gosh.
Before I even met him, today is actually my first time really like
Meeting him in person. Ah, wow.
but I know about him. I see him, I follow him, you know. Everyone is always talking about him, everyone, everywhere.
Instagram is a gift.
It's
and
a
curse.
gift and a
But
curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been
But it's doing very well for you, and yeah, I love what you post. I love the funny side of you.
Yes.
I love how you post even trying out different stuff to eat. I won't forget I don't know what combination you did with peanut butter, and I'm just like,
the peanut butter and the
why?
cookies.
I don't remember what it was, but it was
Peanut
just.
butter on anything is a win.
I know, but some things.
It's
I was just
But
like,
it does something.
it.
I really do.
peanut butter is good. I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know, before whatever, how many times, this maybe we should have asked,
At
are
first.
we supposed to be brushing our teeth? Please.
Twice.
Twice is enough.
Not
Yes.
3 times a day.
You'll be a better
Not
person.
after
if you're
every
doing
meal.
You'll be a better person.
But
Not every meal.
the
Other
recommendation
people
is
do that.
is twice. Now you were asking about misconceptions in the beginning.
yes.
A huge misconception is people brush. A lot of people wake up and they brush their
Brush their teeth, yeah.
and they go eat.
Yes.
And then that's complete. You've done nothing. Right. The whole point of brushing is to remove. Am I shocking? Are you guys doing that?
Well, no, we first have. My kids will first have their cereal and everything, then we go and brush our teeth.
Exactly. So you brush after, because the whole point is to remove all the junk and all the leftover food that's in there.
So I'm waking up.
But I'm waking
With
up. Bad brains
things in
next
my
to
mouth.
thy husband.
If your breath is that bad, for the sake of your husband, brush your teeth, then eat, and brush again.
Then brush again.
Brush again.
Okay.
But the point is, make sure you brush after. Whatever you do, brush after. And I always tell people, don't brush after supper, which means like after you eat, then you brush, and then after maybe at 9 o'clock,
You're
have
having
some
a
chips
snack.
and tea, and then no. Make sure the last thing you do before you go to bed is brush your teeth. So if you go to bed at 10,
So that's
9:55.
a problem because the snack is happening at midnight. People are waking up. At
I feel
2.
you, because I sometimes have my
Mr. Midnight snacker.
So
Yeah.
you're not
I'm thinking, I
yeah,
should brush my teeth.
Me, after 6, I'm not eating anything, but I'm
6?
drinking
Yeah, well-
anything. I'm having a tea, or I'm having a wine, or I'm
Yeah.
having juice. I allow
the same
myself to
effect.
Still
drink
the same thing.
so
everything.
still,
So still, I need to brush my teeth
still the same effect.
after the water I drink.
Yeah. After you brush your teeth, only water.
Only water.
So only water. So any liquid that is like tea, wine,
Tea,
juice.
if it's tea, if you're having like tea but with no sugar,
Yeah, I don't have sugar.
then that's okay.
Then
Yeah.
Then that's okay. But juice, no,
wine.
no.
So even after having wine, I need to brush my teeth.
Yeah.
That
The
is
last
so
thing you do
interesting.
before going to bed.
Is brush your teeth.
And tell me also another misconception. The
What is this thing,
coconut
by the way?
oil pulling. That's called a kiwi melon.
It's really nice. Like,
It's a cucumber.
well,
Yeah.
I've never seen it before.
So cute.
Like you buy it, here in
Challenge is
Zim,
always finding.
Well,
things.
these ones I got from SA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
so they don't grow this in Zim.
No, I haven't found someone who's doing them in Zim. I've tried
never
even
seen
to
them
ask
as
people
well.
who like to grow little weird
thing,
things.
okay.
Please, can you do it?
It's so interesting. Like,
Yeah.
and I like
Yeah.
It looks fancy too.
Thank you.
Sorry, you were saying?
The coconut oil pulling. Is that a good thing to do?
I do that.
It's a good thing. It does. Again, you need to do it for a long time.
Yes, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The most
sometimes
irritating
even
thing.
20 minutes.
10
20? I
minutes.
do it for 10. Mm.
But it does help. It's way better than mouthwash.
I was about to ask you about mouthwash.
Yeah, so I'm
Because
not.
people just like,
Mouthwash in general. See, it kills both the good and the bad bacteria.
this is mouthwash.
mouthwash.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need the good bacteria that's in there to help
Yes.
balance everything
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So you don't want to kill your mouth, have it
Everything.
be a sterile place. That's not good.
Yeah.
So and normally it's the alcohol that does that in the mouthwash, the little bit of alcohol that does that. So if you are going to use mouthwash, perhaps go for the non-alcohol
Okay.
mouthwash if you're going to.
I
But
have
to be honest,
never read the bottle.
they're there,
do not
and actually
use
it's
mouthwash.
becoming more popular. You know how the people are going to more natural
Yes,
stuff. So the
yes.
non-alcohol is becoming more popular, and I think in the next 10 years that's going to be
Could
the
be phased
norm.
out. Yeah.
So, but just water is good enough.
Okay.
When you're
Yeah,
done.
I do oil pulling. And then sometimes I will do the bentonite clay.
What's that?
And
Even the dentist is asking you.
it's one of those natural things and everything, but I mix it with bicarb, or not mix, but I'll alternate.
Alternate.
Sometimes I'll use bicarb, sometimes I'll use the bentonite
What is
clay.
it? What is the bentonite clay?
It's a clay. It's
Like
literally a clay,
Madaka.
Yeah, but it's like a fine powdery thing, and then you use it to brush your teeth. It's so good. You can also use it for like your. But,
Sha,
I
if
also
you grew
get
up
onto
in
those things.
Zimbabwe where they're using a different brand
It's
of
still
toothpaste,
Colgate.
it's still Colgate. Even washing powder, you say safe, you know, dishwasher, sunlight.
Sunlight.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
They brand what you
did it
call
well.
it very
So
well.
glad that oil pulling has been
That's good.
approved by you.
That's good.
'Cause that's why we do. My girls and I would do oil pull. Gift was like, no. My husband was like, listen, I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm fine.
Yeah. So for me, I'm kind of like, you don't want to be on the cutting edge with your health, which means because you don't know if it's super proven or not.
Yes, yes.
For the longest we know scientifically,
Yeah.
the toothpaste has done a good job.
yeah, it has. It really has.
So it's like, okay, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Don't
Yes.
fix it. Yeah.
Something new might be correct. I think it just has to pass the standard of time test
Okay.
as well, because there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that come in that's new, that's flashy and everything, and then end up like maybe it's actually didn't work after 10 years later, but then you bought into it
Yeah.
and all that. So I'm a traditional guy. I'll follow. They say, oh, this is dental ADA approved.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, so I'll just follow that because they've
Yeah.
done their research and all
Yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah, so I'm that kind of guy.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not very up to trend with the natural stuff because there's not too much scientific backing with it. Not to say it's wrong
Not
because
I hear you.
a lot of people don't have they don't have
The
access,
access
They don't
to
have
all of
access
that,
to
yeah.
it.
but and they still have good teeth. So I'll just stick with at least the
Yes.
with the science
Yes.
side. So
Yes.
yeah.
You're
Wow.
chewing some mint leaves.
This is so good, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, lastly, toothbrushes. I know
How
you.
often
Yeah.
should we change?
If you're still using last year's toothbrush, there's something wrong with you. Let's just say
But
that.
how often
Let us know.
should people be changing their toothbrushes, to be honest?
Once it starts going, change it. That typically takes 3 to 4 months, right? Once it starts going all frizzled and flat and everything, time to change.
Yes, mine
So
never
3 months.
does that. Mine never does that. Am I brushing wrong?
How long do you keep your toothbrush for?
No.
You do change.
I do change.
We don't have to put you on the
But
spot.
please,
But no, you should
we
change it.
invited you here, Anesu, not for you.
And the
to-
bristles, you've said that soft.
If
Oh.
you have,
But you know, when I started doing that, I was
You
like, this
feel
is a
like it's
lie.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not brushing.
I
my
felt like
teeth.
this is a lie.
So-
I'm not brushing my teeth.
You've got
My
two
teeth are
options.
not clean.
you've got two options.
Yeah.
You can brush your teeth with hard bristles, and
Yeah.
you can feel like your teeth are clean,
Yeah.
but you're destroying them, right? The hard bristles, they're going to mess up your enamel, and they're going to cause gum recession, 100%, which causes a lot of sensitivity. So a lot of the people, it's a big misconception. It's like, the
Yes.
harder I brush, the better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always say your teeth are not like a toilet bowl, It's not for the harder you
Yes.
brush.
Yeah.
You have to have a soft toothbrush, right? A soft toothbrush. Then you can brush as hard as you want with a soft toothbrush because
Yes.
you're not going to be damaging anything.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It may not feel like and it won't feel because you're used to
Yeah.
the brushing, so it's a
It's
lot
all in my
your
head.
mind as well. But 100%, I always say, if I say it like a joke. but
Yeah.
If I could, I would really do it. I was like, if I was the Minister of Health, I would ban hard
Hard
toothbrushes
toothbrushes.
and toothpicks. Right, those two things.
that's
I would
good.
absolutely ban them.
What are toothpicks doing now, Anesu?
So toothpicks, they'll get whatever it is out of your teeth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But because they're thick, they'll end up causing the spaces to become bigger,
Bigger.
and bigger, and bigger. And then it gets to the point where someone says, I can't even chew beef anymore because it just
Yes, yes.
gets in. And now you got to spend a couple of thousands of
Oh,
dollars
is that what happened?
to fix that. So,
So we should
Oh, so
Floss.
floss.
floss all the time.
floss, floss, floss.
All the time.
Flossing.
Fantastic.
Flossing.
Am I
Oh,
eating
this
this
is
thing-
so
amazing.
Am I eating this the right way?
You
Do I
can
dip
eat it
or-
however you want, even
Okay.
with a spoon. You can dip. Yeah, it was meant to scoop because it's nice combined together.
It's nice, hey?
Mm-hmm.
I wiped mine.
Even me.
Your spoon is right there.
Oh, this was amazing. Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
For coming through.
Thank you very much for having me. And the
there's
food was
so many
good.
things I need to unlearn.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Like brushing
And
my teeth after
electric
eating.
toothbrush or manual toothbrush, which is
Oh, yeah,
best
yeah.
if you can afford.
both, to be honest, are very good.
Okay.
Electric is excellent.
Okay.
Manual is excellent.
Okay, cool.
Both, if you use them wrong, are bad. If you're too aggressive with an electric toothbrush, it messes up your gums and your teeth. The same thing.
How do you use an electric
I got
toothbrush,
an
Dr.
electric
Anesu?
toothbrush for my daughter because she didn't like brushing her teeth.
Yes.
So I thought that would, inspire her and
Yeah.
make her think, oh, this is actually cool.
Yeah.
So she's busy
Yeah.
And
with her.
And she didn't like it.
No, she loved it. Now
Now
she's
she's ready to
grown
brush.
up now. But when she was younger, it was a
Yes.
fight to brush the
Yeah.
teeth. So I bought the electrical one just to get her, curious and think it's a toy
Yes.
and it's a game.
Yeah.
And that's how she found the love for brushing her teeth.
That's nice.
so with electric toothbrushes, what a lot of people will do is they'll still use it like a manual brush.
Highball.
Yes, I was about to say.
Then you're now
But
beating the
it's
point. So you're supposed to just let it do its job. That's why it's an electric toothbrush. So when you now combine it with that, that's when it becomes too aggressive.
Okay.
Causes all those things that I was telling you about.
Okay.
And then with the manual as well, if you brush too hard, same story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
World
'cause
of
people-
wisdom,
I've seen
huh?
some, because I've seen people, you're using an electric toothbrush, but you're still like kind of motioning it, and you're thinking,
It's muscle memory.
I
Once a
guess.
toothbrush, once you see a toothbrush,
like this.
you gotta have that motion and everything.
And I've seen some now that are like double. thingy, like it's brushing this side and it's brushing that side. It's almost like a cap,
Oh.
like you're putting like a.
I've seen those.
You've seen those, yeah.
I haven't actually seen it in real life, but I've seen it
yeah.
online and stuff like that.
No, fantastic, fantastic.
This was so amazing. Thank you for taking the time to come through. We've had so many women on our podcast, so we're like, okay, fellas,
To have a
let's bring a gentleman into the mix so that you know it's for everyone.
It's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any last sentiments you'd want to say to someone who's watching this podcast, young, old, anything inspiring for them?
There's one of my favorite quotes by, I guess, Steve Jobs, which is, once you do something you love, you'll never really work a day.
Oh, yeah. I love that. So good.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you find something that you're passionate about, you know, you'll love it, and you know, you really don't feel like you're going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
don't
Thank
enjoy
you so
Fantastic.
much.
Thank you.
We will see you again on the next
And
episode.
the next episode.
Yeah, breaking the fast. Bye.
Guys, like, subscribe, share.
Oh, yeah.
Do what you need to do.
Do that thing.
Do the needful.